I want to review quickly the pre-course contracts and see, can you see the whiteboard? Yeah. Can you guys see the whiteboard there?
Yeah.
I want to review the pre-course contracts and see whether we covered everything. And then I guess we go around the room and we ask everybody what they got out of it and if they agree. Actually, maybe we do it person by person. So maybe Delphine, we start with you. Okay. Did you tell us like one thing that you found really useful, and maybe give us one thing that you think we can improve? Maybe start with the thing that the thing you'll take home and you'll do differently because of this course today.
Yeah, the water inflation was something totally new, and I liked the experience. So I will try to do it at the hospital where I am now. So that was a good experience, and now like I really understand more the loops and how to turn back and why you do it and how you do it. So
okay, so what we're doing that, Delphine, you told us, I think you told us that you wanted to get to the secant without loops. I think you've done it twice now on camera. So well done. You didn't get there without loops, but we talked a lot about loops and how to resolve them. So, all right, you talked about identifying loops and resolution. And so you guys are in some ways lucky. And when you look at, don't be too hard on your supervisors when you go back about just starting to nail them about what they're doing wrong, because they didn't have this chance. And so I think that they are doing it out of unconscious competence. They know what to do because they know the field. They've done it 1,000 times. Yeah, but it's not conscious competence. It's not knowing why you do what you do. And that's what this is all about.
Well, I have to say that my experience is, I think I'm the least experienced here because of this technique, because I've been trained to use my right hand to move the small wheel. So it's really hard for me to do that, and I found out that I really have poor. Yeah, I know. Sorry,
but it's very important, and seeing you do that is very important for all of you out there who are actually also trained in the two hands technique and who want to convert. So watching Maria Eva, and you will see much more of her because on GIEQs, because she's in Ghent and will be in Ghent.
So it was a bit difficult to follow. Really, it's a matter of like seconds, but I think it can be, I don't know how, but it's something which can be improved maybe.
Yeah, so that's very important. And there is a tiny delay, but I think, I mean, Zoom calls itself zero latency. That is, of course, not true. Yeah, so I think the key message there is the majority of the time it will be clockwise. The majority of the solutions here for the end spiral, the majority of the time when you need to go in, it's clockwise, and the majority of the time with your alpha loop, it's clockwise. All right, well, that's a little bit of a taster of that. I think we need to develop it more before we take this further. So I'll stop doing that.
David,
yeah?
can I just come in on that? So I've been thinking about this a lot recently, and I personally, I think there's no doubt that using the scope guide a lot reduces my attention to what's going on in my right hand, if you see what I mean. And I think people who are very skilled, or very competent, I should say, who don't use the scope guide, I think they probably have exquisite sensitivity in the right hand.
Yeah, that's for sure true. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're doing it. Yeah, and you know, for me, I find if I lose the scope guide, I haven't got what you guys have gained. So I think that the thing for the people in the room is to really link the scope guide with the feeling in the hand in a very conscious way, if you see what I mean. So you know what you've got the feeling in the hand about what's going on, as well as linking it to the image, the anatomy of what's going on. I think they probably have exquisite sensitivity in the right hand.
Yeah, that's for sure true. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's how I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're doing it, yeah. And you know, for me, I find if I lose the scope guide, I haven't got what you guys have gained. So I think that the thing for the people in the room is to really link the scope guide with the feeling in the hand in a very conscious way, if you see what I mean. So you know what you've got the feeling in the hand about what's going on, as well as linking it to the image, the anatomy of what's going on. And then I think you're in a better position to deconstruct in your head when things are difficult, when you don't have the scope guide, you know, what's going on, and therefore know the solution. So I would encourage you to use the scope guide as much as possible, but pay super attention to what it feels like in the hand in different situations. And you've heard us talking about when we advance the scope, we're getting more and more resistance, and then suddenly the resistance drops, or the resistance drops off slowly. And we know what that looks like on the scope guide. That's a very crude sort of link that we have. But I think there's much more subtle things going on as well.
Well, it's 4:30. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, John and Roland. And we'll see you again on another GIEQs course sometime soon.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. And thank you, David, Len and Xander for organising it all.
Absolutely.
And Caroline in the back.
Caroline, we already thanks, but thank you, Caroline. We couldn't do it without you. All right, guys, you stick around maybe. Thank you. You guys can go home and have a nice weekend.
Thank you.